Hey y'all, and welcome back to Janet being Janet. Okay, so we are still on this path with Miss Katie and all the uploading and posting that she's doing over on Insta. I want her to bring this to YouTube so bad because I just want to see what kind of reaction she would have. Because if it's anything like Insta, woo, her numbers are going to go down, down, down. But today we're going to talk about Tyler. We're going to talk about Candace Owens. We're going to talk about her son. We're going to talk about the left wing, the right wing. So if this is very controversial to you, please go ahead and click off. And if you're just now finding my channel again, because I know I quit covering her for a little bit, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if y'all don't mind, hit the like button because I want to get these out just a little bit more than normal because she deserves it, in my opinion. Because everything in here is my opinion, only my opinion. It's for entertainment purposes and only entertainment purposes. If I failed to entertain you, I do apologize. I'm just a mama having fun on YouTube talking about Miss Katie. See, it's possible. It's possible to have fun talking about her. Anyhow, let's go. For anyone looking for a motive behind Tyler Robinson, oh, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, there's a word in here I cannot pronounce, and I ain't even gonna try. I tried Google, and no, my tongue just doesn't allow it to come out, so I'm gonna leave that for y'all. Anyways, let's start over. For anyone looking for a motive behind Tyler Robinson, I encourage you to learn about that's the word I do not know. I'm going to say the ism, found on both the extreme left and the extreme right that is directly impacting young men in our society. The term black build refers to a form of ism that began in the manosphere and became popular in the incel community. These incels are involuntary celibate. Oh, the things to you, Miss Katie. The things that I just don't even need to know, you are going to let us all know about. Feel alienated and believe that they have been rejected by society online. These young men find echo chambers. Can we just say that almost everything that is put on your or on your Insta, on your channel, anywhere that you have social media, it's all just an echo chamber for you because you don't want any kind of negativity, any pushback, any fight back. You don't want anything like that. So you make sure that you delete them. Even if they aren't bad comments, you still make, well, I just inhaled that. You still make sure that you flip that narrative to make sure everything looks exactly like you want it to look. And the problem is you're not keeping up with every single one of your comments, and some of your comments, they're not appropriate, and I'm going to show that today. All right, let's see where I'm at. We are at echo chambers and reinforce their hopeless worldview. Okay, they come to believe that the only way to change society is through violently accelerating its collapse. On both the right and the left, this ideology can push them towards violence in order to dismantle democracy and replace it with their own vision of what society should be. These men. These are only men. Are y'all understanding this? Remember, she only reports the facts. So, men. These men often congregate on gaming platforms, 4chan, Kiwi Farms, and Reddit. And she's on every single one of them looking at them. And this is ridiculous. Where they live in echo chambers filled with ironic memes and constant poop posting. The thing that comes out of a projectile etchings are themselves a meme, a coded message that boo-booer is sending to an audience that understands his intent. And we understand your intent. We understand what you're doing right now. And I'm telling y'all, I can't tell Miss Katie enough. Bring this over to YouTube. Bring it over to YouTube. I'm having to do it for you. That's why I'm asking y'all to like and, share if you want to. Because we want to get this out of what she's doing. And it's all about politics. And you're going to see what side she stands on. It is frightening and underscores how important it is that we find ways to include our youth in real world activities. Get them offline and pull them out of these destructive communities. Miss Katie, you have said forever that you don't really go anywhere with your son. because it's such a hassle. Y'all don't get to go on vacation. Y'all don't get to do anything like that. So don't tell other people what to do with their kids if you're not going to sit here and you're not going to lead by example. How do you know this information? Just because you go and read something online doesn't mean jack diddly squat. It really doesn't. I don't know nothing about this situation. I will tell y'all over and over and over and over, but there's certain things I do know about Miss Katie. And one thing she has said is she stays in her house. Okay, this is just the same thing. She double posted it because that's what she's doing. Don't even ask. She wants what she has to say. She wants everybody to know exactly what her opinion is. So many of the acts of violence we see in our country, whether school boom booms or political attacks, and are carried out by young men. Many of them are white. But what stands out most is their politics. It is their sense of hopelessness and disconnection. These young men often feel alienated by society, turn online for community. There, they find echo chambers where the darkest and most extreme views are rewarded. Ideologies blur together, and the focus shifts from fixing problems to tearing everything down. The truth is that most Americans on both the left and the right do not believe in extremism. Extremism comes from young people when young people decide the only answer is collapse and violence. As a mother of a son, what if it's a daughter? Does it have to be son? I have two sons. I have two sons that game. I have two sons that are online. I have two sons that I get out of this house. I have two sons that we go and approach society and we have normal interactions with people, especially we go simply to the store. Do you know how that can change somebody's life? I'm just asking you, Miss Katie. He plays games online. I worry about what he sees, who he interacts with, and how easily these groups can pull someone in. You are pulling your audience in. You absolutely are. You are pulling everybody in, and you are leaving these debates up in your comment section, and I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right one way or another, left, right, center. I don't care what side you're on, but I just don't think it's appropriate to cause this kind of uproar over on a social media page. This is why, as parents, we have to stay aware. Are you aware of everything that your son's doing? When you spend all day researching for a tragedy that happened, I don't think you're spending so much time focusing on your children. Just me, your child. I'm sorry, me children. I focus on mine too daggum much. Okay, we're just gonna leave that alone. We all have to know what our kids are consuming online, and we have to help them spend more time offline and connect to the real world. What is the real world for you, Miss Katie? Because I really want to know. I mean, that's an honest question for you. We also need to be kind to boys who feel shy, introverted, or like outsiders. Everyone deserves to feel like they belong. Okay. I have a question for y'all. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. All right. Y'all, seriously, I want to know in the comment section if y'all remember this. When I started my channel, it was because my son decided that whenever he heard Miss Katie say that since her son was a certain way, that he could commit or egregious crime. Why is she now all of a sudden on here preaching like she's a good mom and that wouldn't happen to her son? Why is she on here acting like that? Because I remember all of that, and I'm sure y'all remember all of that. She said that her son could do something. So shouldn't she be putting extra focus in on her son? Shouldn't she? And I'm only talking about her son because she spoke about her son. And y'all know about my son. Y'all know his brain damage. Y'all know all of that stuff about my son. I focus on him. I make sure that if I hear him talking inappropriately, and not like bad inappropriately, but if he goes to say something he shouldn't say, I correct him right then. And the reason why I'm able to correct him right then is because I'm constantly checking on them. I'm constantly making sure my kids are okay online because it's very, very important. I'm sorry, let me just stop my little pedestal speech. Violence is never the answer. Nothing is ever hopeless or permanent. We owe it to our sons to remind them of that. Remember, it's only boys, it's only men, it's only sons. You ain't got nothing to worry about with your daughters. No, why? Why would you want to pay that much attention to your daughters and think anything could happen with your daughters? It only happens with men. I legitimately don't understand what extreme left would be. Free healthcare, access to education, clean environment, safe schools. Those are the core beliefs of the left. So what would a radical version of that be? I truly don't understand. I get it, but these aren't the old school extremists. That's not what left extremism is. Extreme left is communism and anarchy. And some of these groups are also pro-gun, blurring the lines of what left extremists look like. You can't think in terms of what the average Democrat believes. I know Katie. I know. Katie does an amazing job reporting all the madness. She is not a reporter. She's not a journalist. She is a content creator. And she's not even a social media influencer because I tell you something, with her backpedaling right now, that should tell you a lot about her as a person. My comment is less about the particular post and more about wanting clarity for the community here on what the extreme left is or means. I really don't know. Exactly correct. A lot of people also forget that on the extreme end of the left exists anarchy and communism, and anarchists want the government removed. It's a liberal form of libertarianism, and some of these groups can be violent to achieve the goal. Do y'all understand why she's losing subs or followers? Okay, thank you. I was thinking it can't be within the bounds of legitimate democracy because all the fringe ideas morph into what you just mentioned. Makes sense now. When does she become a political communist? Commenter. No. Commentator. There you go. So if you look at the spectrum of politics, the extreme right is authoritarianism and fascism. On the extreme left is communism and anarchy. The anarchists do not hold the same view about healthcare, education, or the government. They want no government. They attack systems and government to tear it down. And they can be violent. See, we're left and right this time. We're not just left. We're not just right. We're not in the middle. We are left and right. And we are going to extremes is what we're doing. That's what I was thinking. It's almost like a carnival mirror, where the further you go to the left or right, it's a total morph of one another in some twisted way. Why are we talking about politics constantly? Not that I know what the truth is. It's just every article I read has conflicting info. Amazing store, by the way. She's even said she's confused. So if she says she's confused, the government's confusing her, everything's confusing her, why in the world are you taking anything she has to say? Why are you listening to anything she has to say? I think he's been influenced 100% by Nick Fuentes. I just don't know what he's influenced by now. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but I am so lost with this information. Without a crystal ball. 2. Is there a safe, reputable site to help those of us who would like more information about the extreme left group? She's giving you all this information. Why do you need to go and look for more information? You're going to insult this woman. You're going to insult her and she's going to get mad at you. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around it and stay informed about what it is. If I need to care for someone who is part of it, thank you with a big old smiley face, because nobody wants to go against her, right? Oh, no, we do not. There is a book by Ellie Reeve called Black Pill that explores this world. So are you diving into that book? Because we all know that you're diving into the Christine book. We all know that you're breaking that down by page, chapter by chapter. I mean, you've just got that posted all over your daggum channel because you don't have any other content whenever it comes to Sister Wives. You're not talking about Cody. You're not talking about anything like that. You're just talking about what Christine wrote in her book. And if Christine hadn't written this book, you wouldn't have anything to say. Kind of like if you weren't doing this, I wouldn't have anything to say about this. There are some groups that are generally more right than left, but the groups blur with one another. So they can exist in the same space, which creates mixed and confusing ideology, which is why it's so hard for law enforcement to tie these men to one side of the political spectrum. We are political, guys. She is now political. The extreme left is just people who want no war, free food, housing, and medical care for all. Yes, the extreme. I don't understand if they want no war. Why are they often violent? I'm trying to truly understand. Why are you leaving everybody that's commenting up in the air? I mean, you're just kind of, whoo, they're in the clouds and you ain't even trying to get a plane to save them. No, that's not what the extreme left is in this case. I really encourage you to learn about these extremists. They are a new breed and they aren't afraid of violence. I'm not going to just type it into Google, so if you've got a good source besides a long book for all those asking it, would be helpful. She's got it from websites. She's been so many different places that she can't even refer you to one spot. And like I said, if you entrusted her reporting, as she says, if you trusted that or her journalism, you wouldn't have to go and find anything else. She would tell you all about it. She brought it up. She needs to finish it. The extreme that Trump claims is on the left is really far more ambiguous. These men are not political. They take whatever position is beneficial at the time, kind of like you are right now. You're trying to stay in the middle because you going far left, far right, or you going left, right, period, is making your numbers go whoop, boop, to the bottom. They take whatever position is beneficial for them. Their beliefs are there is no hope. Nothing matters. Nothing is offensive and violent, and destruction are only the answer. Okay. No. That's not why the extreme left, what the extreme left is in this case. I really encourage you to learn about these extremists. They are a new breed, and they aren't afraid of violence. Okay, so somebody comes in here and says, okay, Miss Heidi is not educating people. So this person's going to educate you, okay? Y'all ready for this? Need to start looking at watching the so-called Groyper Army. The term Groyper, I don't even know, is explained below. Miss Heidi is not explaining it, has not explained it. So when your commenters have to come in and say, all right, this is how this works. This is who these people are. It says something to her as a reporter. Is a white supremacist group that presents its ideology as more nuanced than other groups in the whole white supremacist sphere. So why are we even talking about white supremacy? While the group and leadership's views align with those held by the white supremacists, alt-right gropers attempt to normalize their ideology by aligning themselves with Christianity and traditional values ostensibly championed by the church, including marriage and family. Like the alt-right and other white supremacists, gropers believe they are working to defend against demographic and cultural changes that are destroying the true America, a white Christian nation. However, gropers differ in a number of ways from their alt-right. They identify themselves as American nationalists who are part of the America First movement to the gropers. America First means that the U.S. should close its borders, bar immigrants, oppose globalism, and promote traditional values like Christianity and oppose liberal values such as feminism and LGBTQ rights. They claim not to be racist or anti-Semitic and see their bigoted views as normal and necessary to preserve white European American identity and culture. However, some members have expressed racist and anti-Semitic views on multiple occasions. They believe their views are shared by the majority of white people. This is up. These comments are up over on her Insta right now. These comments are something that she is just letting everybody, you're not going to get down in my comment section, and y'all know I don't really delete my comments. I'll let y'all say what y'all want to say, but I'm not going to let you get down in my comment section and start talking about white supremacy and all that good stuff. We are not talking about that, because that is not something that needs to be discussed, in my opinion, on my channel, okay? I'm just bringing you what Miss Heidi says and what's in Miss Heidi's comments. This is your new narrative when white supremacists, TDS, don't work out for you. No mea culpa. When you claim they are white or right-winger unreliable sources were reporting that the dude has a trans girlfriend turned out to be true according to mainstream media. Stick to the Blake content because this move has turned off a lot of your viewership. She don't care. She does not care. She talks about what she wants to talk about when she wants to talk about it. She says what she wants to say because just like me, she's full of opinions. But sometimes she takes her opinions and she says, oh no, they're not opinions, they're actual facts. Because what she reports on are actual facts. And so I'm leaving that alone. All right, very interesting how you humanize white people, men. But when it comes to us black people, there is never any sort of explanation to any circumstances we are part of, whether we are being victim or the aggressors. There is always an explanation for white people, sick and violent behavior. You humanize them by your approach, while we are being demonized 24/7. You have destroyed the world, went all over the place to steal lands and off people, and yet you are forcing us to at some sort of Lord above. Okay, I guess I should have just said the word. Right? I should have just said the word. I don't know what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. But I'm saying a lot of things, so I guess I just need to say it. You all suffer from illness. You apply the rules to others, but change them when it comes to you. You are the one who decided of the rules. You are inherently bad people. Even God cannot save you. Yes, this is in her comment section. So now we're going about race. Yeah. And see what she's doing? Look at that. She lost 95 followers and just like that. I mean, she just keeps on going and keeps on going. I haven't even looked for the day. If you want to know that if you are a Democrat, you are not responsible for the crimes of anyone else. The actions of a single person, not even registered to the Democratic Party, are the actions of that person alone. So now we're just going to talk about the Democratic Party, because hasn't she said more than one time that she's proud to be a Democrat? Hasn't she said that? So why is she flip-flopping? Huh? Why is she now saying, oh, it's the far left or the far right? And now she wants to come back and go, oh, no, I'm a Democrat. Why? Because there's more people talking to her like that. She is not, like the last comment I read to you, she's not addressing them. Oh, no, no, no. She's not going to address them whatsoever at all. Why? Because it doesn't fit her narrative. But she's going to leave it up there. Leaders who continue to fan the flames are only seeking to cause further division, and it is heartbreaking. The Deputy Chief of Staff went so far as to call the Democratic Party a terrorist organization. I am a Democrat. I have never been convicted of a violent crime. I do not own a pew-pew. I have never even shot a pew-pew. I hate violence of any kind. No one is responsible for the actions of Tyler Robinson other than Tyler Robinson himself, a disturbed young man who committed a horrific crime. No one I know would ever claim him as a representative of the Democratic Party. But do y'all not remember the whole thing that she left up in her comments about, it was, I think, a deserved unaliving? I think it was something along those lines. Go to my last video. I'll put it in there because it really bothered me when I read it. Hearing the leaders of this country attack millions of citizens for a crime that they had nothing to do with is heartbreaking. Seeking to call the other party in our country a terrorist organization is disturbing. Most of us in the United States are in the middle. I thought you were just a Democrat. That's what you just said. Most of us have crossed our beliefs and that straddle both sides of the aisle. So now she's, a Democrat and a Republican. Okay. Most importantly, most of us in the United States do not commit violent crimes, nor do most of celebrate the passing of anyone. Screaming that it's all the left or all the right literally makes the situation worse. And the facts are this man has never one time even voted in the election. He's not registered to any party. He's unaffiliated and inactive. Stop the madness. So y'all stop it. Y'all absolutely stop it. That is a direct order from Miss Kitey. Also, stop asking me to watch Candace Owens. I will not engage in her content that promotes conspiracy that the anti-Semitic and hateful. Tyler Robinson is not an operative. He unalived Charlie Kirk. I'm tired of Candace's off-the-wall conspiracy and clouding and confusing people. You done said that you're confused. You done said that you were confused by every single bit of this. So somebody else stating their opinion is not okay with you. But it's okay for you to state your opinion and then turn around and say, oh, wait a second. Wait a minute. Just y'all hold on, because I don't even know what's going on. Think about that, guys. Tyler Robinson is not an operative. He unalived Charlie Kirk. I'm tired of Candace Owens off the wall conspiracies clouding the confusing people. Yes, I read that again for you. Candace has figured out that the more inflammatory and off the wall she can create her conspiracies, the more views she receives. Watch her if you want, but don't ask me to watch her. Missy, ma'am, let me tell you something, okay? I think that at some point you agreed with Miss Candace Owens and something happened behind the scenes, or even in your following, and you had so many people push back, you decided that you were going to change your narrative. And my whole thought process behind that is the same thing that you do on YouTube, you do over here. You say, okay, this is the way I see it, and you pound it into people's head the way you see it, so people see it the same way you do. Unfortunately, you come across people like me that are like, I don't care. Candace promotes harmful conspiracies that do not exist. I don't align with her views at all. She calls LGBTQ people demonic and satanic. None of that is helpful and fuels division. She can do her thing, but my job over here, okay, which gets less views, is rooted in fact. Ooh, now she's talking about them views. Miss Katie, is it bothering you that you're losing followers every time you do this? Is it bothering you about that? And I know some people on my channel don't want to listen to politics. Y'all listen, we ain't listening to politics. I'm not talking to you about politics. I'm talking to you about Miss Katie and what she's pulling over there and how her following has gone down. Like it, love it, lump it, whichever way you see it, she's gone down and she continues to go down. And it continues to be, okay, now I'm going to be political. Now I'm going to go against this person. I'm going to go against that person. This is what is continuing over there. It's hard to take it all in when both parties are guilty of hypocrisy. It is becoming difficult to take anyone seriously when the cherry pick what applies to them and what does not. I'm not saying you. I'm saying everyone. If the Republicans are responsible for inciting the riot, why can't Democrats be responsible for inciting the hate that caused this man to do what he did? It's horrible all around, and hopefully we can start learning from this. Okay, without a crystal ball. Because they had nothing to do with it. He wasn't a Democrat. He was an extremist. Did you read my post? I said it shouldn't be done by either side. You are saying me. You are saying Democrats, me, incited him to unalive someone. That's a bold-faced lie. I don't advocate for unaliving of anyone. Okay. So people see it a certain way with you and you don't like it whatsoever at all. I wonder if this person got blocked. Hey, dude, if you got blocked, or lady, if you got blocked, come on over here. You're welcome with open arms. Okay. You are saying me. You are saying Democrats, me, incited him to unalive someone. That's a bold-faced lie. I just read that and I read it again. I obviously had a lot of, feelings towards that one because I was like, okay, I'm going to put it up once. I'm going to put it up twice. Clap, clap, clap. As a Democrat, I have taken action with every single vote I have ever taken to support candidates and politics and policies to reduce poo-poo violence. You, me, and every other poo-poo sense voters have gone out of our way to prevent poo-poo deaths, including Kirk's. If right-wingers want to complain, they should channel it into an effort to enact sensible poo-poo reforms to keep people safe, but we all know they won't. Let's just not be right or left right now. Please. This isn't us against them. Okay, so you have a Democrat saying you not to be a Democrat right now. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Your logic is wild, and you can see what they're trying to do from a mile away. Divide and conquer. Makes me so sad. I honestly think that most of them are terrified. I thought you were terrified. I thought you were scared. I thought you were shaken. Ooh, that they will be targeted next. I'm sure fear and grief is clouding them right now. At least I hope that's it. It's a scary time for anyone in politics. No one in public office should fear for their lives, period. For as far as the political leaders stoking division, anything to make the midterms less brutal. These policies are destroying farms, hospitals, and middle class. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna say nothing. Haven't you paid attention? I honestly only care about Epstein files are being released, which apparently isn't a priority now. So, okay, we've got politics, we got Candace Owens, we got Epstein, we got her son. I mean, we got it all in this one. Are y'all still with me? Hit that comment section below because I want to know y'all are still with me because we still ain't done. If you want to know... Oh, wait a second. I think I've already done that. Hold on. Hold on a second. No, we're going to go back and read this one. My bad, guys. I want you to know that if you are a Democrat, you are not responsible for the crimes of anyone else. These actions of a single person, not even registered to the Democratic Party, are the actions of that person alone. Leaders who continue to fan the flames are only seeking to cause further division, and it is heartbreaking. The Deputy Chief of Staff went so far as to call the Democratic Party a terrorist organization. I am a Democrat. I have never been convicted of a violent crime. I do not own a pew-pew. I have never, ever, never even shot at a pew-pew. I hate violence of any kind. No one is responsible for the actions of Tyler Robinson other than Tyler Robinson himself, a disturbed young man who committed a horrific crime. No one I know would ever claim him as a representative of the Democratic Party. We are not political over here, guys. I'm talking about Miss Katie. She's not a political journalist, but are y'all listening to everything she's saying? I hope y'all are listening because I find this very interesting and I have nothing to do with politics. Hearing the leaders of this country attack millions of citizens for a crime that they had nothing to do with is heartbreaking. Seeking to call the only other party in our county to terrorist organization is disturbing. Most of us in the United States are in the middle. Most of us have crossed over beliefs and straddled both sides of the aisles. Did I already read this? I think I did, but you know what? We're going to hear it again. Most importantly, most of us in the United States do not commit violent crimes, nor do most celebrate the offing of anyone, passing of anyone. Screaming that it's all the left or the right literally only makes the situation worse. And the facts are, this man has never even one time voted in the election. He's not registered to any party. He's unaffiliated and inactive. Stop the madness. Both sides just need to stop. Not all Republicans are bad people. Not all Democrats are bad people. We need to dehumanizing one another. When we become objects, people stop seeing our humanity. This reinforces violence. Your logic is wild, and you can see what they're trying to do from a mile away. Have I already done this one? I have. I'm sorry, guys. All right, let's do this one. Hold up. Let's play devil's advocate. Neither party is a terrorist organization. I've yet to see you stand up and declare the same when members of Republican parties are called terrorists, Nazis, etc. by the last administration. Most of my family are Democrats, and they all own pew-pews for both hunting and protection. Owning a pew-pew does not mean you'll go and boo innocent people in the name of some extreme cause. Anytime anything bad happens that can be construed as political, each political party condemns the other and proceeds to name-calling, and it's always wrong. Period. There are extreme sides to each political party, and both are wrong. The majority of the country is somewhere in the middle of the political spectrum, and that's fine. We don't all need to agree with one another on every social issue, but violence, name-calling, and accusation should never be the solution. Get down in that comment section right now and let me know if you want me to continue covering all of this stuff, because she's still going politics. Absolutely. She's doing politics more than she's doing Blake now. Why? You want my opinion? Guess what? You're going to get my opinion. I think that the whole Blake thing is going to dry up. That's what I think. So she's trying to get as many followers as she can over here. Right now, she's just going after what's popular, and what's popular is a situation happening. But my opinion, Miss Katie, I don't think you should be putting politics over here, because you constantly say you're not a political journalist. You constantly say that you don't report on politics. What do you call this? What do you freaking call this, Miss Katie? Because I want to know. To me, this is all political. That's what I think. Every single bit of this is. Sorry, it's okay for the leaders of the Democratic Party to continue to slander Trump and the Republican leaders by calling them racist, homophobes, fascist, Nazi, Hitler. When people fear that it triggers hate inside of them, that eventually leads to catastrophic events. Maybe they should change their rhetoric and stop dividing people. Can you share which president and VP made such statements? I don't remember them ever calling for revenge or saying we should be at war with a political party, but I'd be glad to read up on it more if I'm mistaken. This. Amen. See, look. Let's just let everybody go at each other in the comment section. All right. Let's teach Miss Katie a thing or two, okay? That's what we're going to do. There is no clouding of vision right now. It's never been clearer. I do not want divide. We only want those who vote Democrat to see who you are really voting for. A lot of them deranged radicals, even a handful of their own party, knows this and are appalled by their activism and voting record. It's all the legislation these Dems have passed and are still advocating to pass that's creating this crisis. To name a few, medically castrating children, passing laws to take them away if you do not comply, infanticide, etc. The pharmaceutical companies who poison our kids directly give tons of millions to Dems who vote for the to represent you. I'm pretty confident these radicals do not represent the views and values of most Dems. But sadly, just because it says Dems next to them in their name, because people will vote for them, no matter what the consequences may be. And yes, if you vote for this, you are absolutely part of the problem. The good news is that it can be rectified. Wake up and see what your elected representative has voted for on your behalf. Then make the effort to make a difference. You can call me, you can call them, make your voice heard, run for office yourself, or even switch parties. You do not even the representative that or even have to register Republican. Just vote for your views and core convictions and those hard non-negotiables. God bless. I'm praying for the youth of our nation. FYI, I'm not registered Republican. I'm a registered independent. Why are we doing this, Miss Katie? Why do we have this going on? I don't understand this, and y'all may understand it, and please explain it to me down in the comments. Please, please, please explain it to me, because I don't understand what she's getting out of this besides less and less viewers. Unless this is a new angle she can go at, because if she can talk bad about somebody like Perez Hilton, if she can talk bad about, oh my goodness gracious, I done forgot the guy that John Yates. I mean, if she can talk negative about so many people, Candace Owens, she's just going to bring them all in. And she goes through these spurts, guys. She does. She's like, I'm going to go against this person, and this person. And then she'll turn around, she'll backtrack, and she'll say, oh, no, I'm not going to go against this person. But she has not realized, and she does not see that the more she posts like this, the more followers she loses. So for people in the anti-KJ community, we're just fine with her posting things like this, and I want y'all to keep up to date on what she's posting and how political she's getting over there. So if she decides that she's going to change sides, of reporting, and she's going to go political, because the way she's got it sounding, she knows exactly everything going on in the world in politics. So how much research has she done online about that? Because she's already said she's been everywhere for Tyler Robinson. Why wouldn't she be everywhere for her research for political? Then that's just a question for you. How many of y'all think that she would ever turn to politics over on YouTube? Because like I said, she can continue Sister Wives as long as there's content. She can continue Blake as long as there's content. What is she going to do? Because before Blake, she didn't have anything, and it was a suggested thing through her comment section. So, do you ever think that since Miss Katie is so political, do you ever think she's going to bring it to YouTube? I mean, these people listen to her. Her followers listen to her. I don't want y'all listening to me and making a decision off of what I say. That's why I keep my mouth shut. Be whatever side you want to be on, but I don't want to have all this going on. And I don't want anybody to be saying, okay, yeah, we can get into a political argument over on Janet's channel. Oh, no, sir, no, ma'am, we're not going to do that. But we are going to talk about Miss Katie and when she creates political arguments, and that's what she's doing right now. But anywho, anyway, anyhow, I like to say that these days. I really do. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my 2 cents about this. I hope you enjoyed listening to me. And if you do, I really need you to hit the comments. I really do. Because if you don't enjoy this, I'm not going to do it. If you enjoy this, of course I'm going to do it. Why? Because I've been here with y'all for years. And okay, I took a little bit of a break, but that don't count, okay? I've been here for years, and I'm going to continue to be here because I'm kind of enjoying watching her downfall. I'm going to try to find out how many she loses today, because if she continues posting like this, she's going to end up losing more. And us together, me and you, we're going to watch the complete downfall of her if she goes to politics. That's just my opinion. That's just the way I look at it. That's just the way I think. And y'all, like I said, I've just got a big mouth and a big head full of opinions. That's all I am. All right, guys, I want to make sure that y'all have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this. And remember to smile today, or make somebody else smile, because it really can make a difference. And yes, I like to give you direct orders, kind of like Miss Katie does. Okay, Miss Katie, I like to give you direct orders. Y'all go find that daggum mirror. Find one. I got one right here. I got a little one. I have mirrors all around me. And you make sure you smile into it. Why? Because a smile looks beautiful on you, and it looks beautiful on everyone around you. So make that contagious. Not all this hate, not all this other. Make a smile contagious. That's what you need to do. All right, guys. I want y'all to make sure that you have a good one, like I always say. And y'all hit the comments below. Because if you don't like it, I'm not going to do it. But I find it kind of interesting. Just me. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Well, wave did it. Bye.